Hey, Marty. So we got the pleasure of working with you and Andrew of Red Pencil Architecture on the Parkview Residence. And I kind of want to just hear from your perspective the story of our clients that we had, because it was an interesting project in Old Town Louisville.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and step back and say, tell me that story.
Yeah, it was a fun project. The clients were wonderful. A fabulous lot right on Main Street on the south end. The original home, at one point, they talked to us about possibly renovating it, and we're big into trying to save homes whenever possible. But this one was really not real desirable as far as trying to save.
Yeah.
There were some structural issues with the main stair. I think there was an odd addition that was added on at some point. So it just made sense to scrape and rebuild. There was also a detached garage on it that was in great shape, needed some love. Mm-hmm. But structurally was sound. So we decided to keep the detached garage and just build a detached custom home. A corner lot, great southern exposure, a neighbor to the west that was a little tight, but we made it work. But the clients, they were great to work with. They didn't have any really great preconceived ideas. So that was kind of nice. The one kind of specialty room that Peril asked for was a kind of her own private yoga meditation space, which we carved into the plan off the primary suite. Mm-hmm. But it was a fun house, very efficient. The interior design came together fabulous. Some unique selections with some wallpaper but it turned out great. We had a really neat turn back stair right at the entry, right as you walked in front of you, which created some challenges. It was meant to be an open stair from the basement all the way up to the second floor. They didn't necessarily want an open riser, exposed structural stair, but they didn't want to see any structure as well. So we worked with your team, your steel fabricator, the structural engineer, got the stair dialed in with a lot of shop drawings, and it turned out
pretty cool.
Famously, yeah.
Yeah, we did. So when they came to you, they didn't have they had a program, but not preconceived, like this is exactly what we want. How did you get them to that point? What would you call that architectural style that you did design?
Well, it was somewhat of a modern style, but still, I think blends nicely with the Old Town, steep roof pitches. Program-wise, I mean, they had two young sons who are in middle school that were currently in the basement. We got them up onto the main level with their own bedrooms, and the upper level was dedicated to the primary suite. But with all our clients, we talk to them about their lifestyle, not just their program, but how they live, how they entertain, pets. Laundry seems to always be a big topic, whether it's on the main floor off the garage or tucked behind the kitchen, or is it on the same floor as the primary suite. In this case, because the primary was the only space available on the upper level, we put the laundry on the main level. Mm-hmm. Kind of an informal living room setup, as well as an informal dining space, and then a great outdoor living connection between the detached garage and the new home. Mm-hmm. Style-wise, on the exterior, they gave us some thoughts on colors and textures. We came up with a material palette. I think we changed directions in the middle of construction, changed some of the siding, maybe took up a little bit of the stone. Mm-hmm. But overall, it was relatively pretty straightforward.
Yeah. You guys do a photorealistic rendering.
We do.
Which is pretty phenomenal. Not everybody does that. What do you guys do that in?
It starts with Revit. Andrew takes care of all of our rendering and
all the techie stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome what he puts together, because you look at that photorealistic and then you look at some of the completed photos. Yeah. Sure, there's some color changes, but that structure is that structure. Yeah. And it just came out perfect.
Yeah. It really helps the clients, make that final decision. This is what they want. And it's easy enough to change colors and exterior materials. So once we get to that point and we get it modeled, we usually present it to them just as a generic black and white model, and then we can start talking about materials and colors.
Mm-hmm. I knew Joe and Peril from being friends around town, and they came to us, and it was during that time when lumber just took off. Just like, oh man, you want to build your friend's home and you want to do it economically, but the market was tough. But actually, by the time we ordered it, it actually came back down. So I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And so, but they really enjoyed, you captured, like, I know Peryl's space, that main level in her yoga studio, she just loves it. And I think they were blown away. And the basement is actually some amazing space. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're like, oh, basement. But I mean, it was a bigger footprint. The soil condition had us, it's like, all right, do we bring the dirt level back up or do we pour a taller wall?
Right.
And so this basement space is just like, oh, this doesn't feel like a basement at all. So I remember you and my brother Brian solving that problem early on. And it's like, oh, let's make better space.
Yeah.
And so, they were great to work with too. Bringing in Alana with Alana Lavenue Interiors to do, this is the one where Pearl threw me for a little wild card. She's like, I kind of like Bohemian. I'm like, oh, okay. And I've told this story a lot. And I'm like, I don't know what Bohemian design is. And I called Alana and she's like, I do. I got this. And so, it has touches of that really brings the interior together. But the space planning, I mean, you go into the primary and you're like, all right, you got this bed and you got this amazing master suite and the closet and everything functions and flows so well without being too small and not being wasted space. So it's great getting to go to their home afterwards and be like, oh, like this can hold a lot of people. And there's not awkward space in it.
And the Old Town district, with their zoning codes and their building height restrictions, it forces you to create some interesting spaces upstairs with cut-in roofs and dormers, and that's what we did with, their bedroom had I believe a 5-foot wall.
Yeah.
Then the roof took off, and then the primary bathroom the same way, just interesting ceiling planes and.
Yeah, there was a lot of volume in that room. Right. Even with that dormer type low wall situation. That was pretty cool. What else do you remember of that project that stuck out?
Well, I remember we did have some angst trying to get drainage down the west side of the house just because we were so tight to the property line. The adjacent neighbor was existing, and so there wasn't a whole lot of room to manipulate the grade, and we had to take it all the way from the back all the way to the south. But the civil engineer, I believe, worked on a drainage plan, and
we had to put in a very precise concrete pan on the property line so that we don't flood the neighbors out.
Yeah.
And that's always tricky on infill or scrape and rebuild lots.
Yeah.
Because we're fighting height and grade and existing setbacks and historic setbacks.
Right.
That can be a challenge.
Yeah.
And I don't think we did the pergola ever, though.
Correct. Yeah, that was original to the design, but I understand. I mean, it is on the north side of the house. It does pick up some shade from the main house, but I thought that outdoor space turned out fabulous.
It works great.
Yeah.
And then the old garage. I think part of the reason we didn't do anything with it too is if you move it, you can't have it again.
Right.
Because it was not in a conforming setback.
Exactly.
So it's like, don't touch it.
Yeah.
So we just put lipstick on it and cleaned it up, and it's great little space, storage and office. I just remember it being one of our first projects together, and it was like, all right, these plans, this is cool, like, hey, and it's buildable, and you're a very humble man, Marty. You are. Yeah, you come across humble. You're not. There's not a lot of ego in what you do. You're a team player when you come on and you come to the build team. You're like, all right, this is what I drew. Hey, if there's an idea to do something simpler without affecting the architectural, you're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
You're trying to come together and bring the project to life with the whole team. So, and you're a good team player. So
I appreciate hearing that. We do love the collaboration between the builder, whether there's an interior designer on board or not, letting them do their thing.
Do you love it when interior designers come and redesign your bathrooms right at early onset?
Well, I wouldn't say they redesign it. They maybe take it to that next level.
Yeah.
I think we do a pretty good job of the general layout, but then they take it up a notch with their finishes and fixtures and whatnot.
It's funny, sometimes an interior designer will come in and be like, "Oh, I want this wall moved. I want to do this, and I want to put this toilet over here and do that." And you're like, "No. There's purpose to this."
Yeah.
But everybody's got ideas, and you got to bring them together and say, "Okay, well, why do we want to do that? How do we bring that aspect of what you want to do into the existing space?"
Right.
But no, it can happen. It can be sabotaged sometimes.
It can.
So, and then we're working on another project right now in Louisville. It's a 1980s ranch home that's small, bigger lot. They need more square footage for their family. They came to you. They said, "Okay, what do we do?" Tell me a little bit about how you came up with that front side addition and elevation change. I mean, this house is going to look totally different and amazing.
It really is. And it is a fairly simple 80s home. But they had just recently landscaped and redid the entire backyard. And so they made it clear that they didn't want to add any addition onto the back since they just put so much money into the backyard. And when they explained what type of space they were looking for, it only made sense to connect it on that south front corner. We know there's some challenges with the existing utilities that we're working through, but...
well, you didn't when you drew it.
Right.
Now that we've found it for you.
Yeah. But it's gonna be quite the transformation. It's gonna look completely different from the street, but still fit in the neighborhood, still be very well proportioned on the lot. Mm-hmm. So, looking forward to seeing that thing break ground.
Yeah. Oftentimes, like this is an addition to the main level and a little addition to the second level. I saw that where it's like 85 square feet, but it's not really attached to the second level.
No.
It's really part of the first level. So I was wondering if you even had to put that on the plans. They wanted the basement space.
Correct, which is not real typical.
Yeah, typically when you're doing an addition, increasing the basement space. I mean, you can do it, but there's just a cost. Tell me about their process with that.
Yeah, they were really just looking for an additional bedroom, and it made sense to, we're really only adding maybe 200 square feet on the main level. And so we captured that space in the basement, even though we don't have existing tall ceilings to work with. Mm-hmm. But we made it work. The engineer came up with a good detail to open up the existing foundation and create that access to the new basement space.
Who's the engineer that we're working with?
Daniel with
Baloo, 40th Parallel.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Daniel. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So, and that main floor space is, it's basically a music room.
Yeah. It'll be a great, pulling the front of the house forward so that when you open the door, that you're not stepping into the first step, right? That giving it that breathing room once you go to the front door, I think is going to be the biggest thing. They're going to be like, wow, just with that extra 4 feet right there. And then making the great room bigger. And it's a pretty efficient design. Yeah, in architecturally, but also that we're not getting into we're not doing a bathroom. We're not doing a kitchen. It's really just volume space.
Right.
Making that front of the house bigger.
Yeah.
So, I was like, oh, that's pretty efficient square footage to pick up. Because once you start adding bathrooms, now you pull the string on the sweater, and now you're like, oh, we're remodeling the first floor as well. Oh, no. So can grow. But no, that's going to be a fun one. Hopefully we can get that gas line moved here soon.
It started this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Excel, so we'll see.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, Excel. No, hey, it's been great to work with you, and I look forward to working more with you on
Likewise.
Other projects and finding those ones that are right for each other. It's been great.
Absolutely.
So, Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me in.